Hey everyone, this is Suze from Glass Garden Beads. I'm here to do a little addition to our help directions for the Flower Power earrings. Today we're going to hopefully do some tips where you can embellish with a thicker band or do a simpler band. When I tend to do directions, I try to show you the simplest possible way. And in this case, you are going to see today, we are going to do 3 steps. We're going to connect our edge, which is right over here. We're going to connect our edge. Now our edge is actually to the inside of this ear wire frame, or let's just say earring circle frame. Okay, and we've already attached the cup chain. We've already done the earring. If this little ear wire gets in the way, take it off. I have started this because I want to show you how to do flowers, so we're just going to switch over. But the very first step is get your needle and thread ready, and we are going to tie a knot. And the neat thing about this kit, you can make it as simple as my directions show, or you can add more flowers. And what we did, my stitcher and I decided, let's show them what they, in our picture form, you'll see the more intricate embellishment. Now, in my direction form, it's simpler, but that's why we're here doing a video, so we can kind of give you a guidance on how to start. So right now, I am literally tying, it will be 3 knots if you don't have a thread burner, 2 knots if you have a thread burner, and then you just clip it. But I'm right between the divots. Do you see that? Let's get that up there. I'm always battling with the camera focus. Okay, so hopefully that's really good. So now I'm going to just quickly go on and get that ear wire out of there. And I wanted to leave it on, of course, I get everything. And just to show you that it all comes assembled. That's what's kind of cool. You could actually wear these earrings out before you even stitch on them. All right, here's number 2. And if you're without a thread burner, let's just do a number 3. All it is we want to make sure this thread is connected, and it is connected onto the frame. Okay, I have a little bit of an edge there, but you're not going to see it. So let's get started. All right, first thing, when we start a brick stitch, and that's what this is, we are adding beads standing up on the inside of this frame. So you're going to, for the beginning, just have a lot of patience at the beginning. We are going to, the thread is in front, my needle is going to go to the back, and I did put on 2 beads. So let's just kind of get this done. And it will catch, so just take kind of at the beginning, before you get into your rhythm, the cup chain is kind of its own enemy here. Okay, we're going to pull down, and I'm holding on to all of this. Now, but remember, the thread is tied. Okay, so we're going to kind of put these together, and I am going to come up my very first bead. All right, and I'm going to come up bottom up, so the thread is coming out of so it sits like this. Okay, so into my very first bead, I'm going to pull the needle toward me. All right, and I'm going to now go down the second bead, because I really want to be coming out of the second bead in order to add other beads. But what we're doing is we are just beading setting our very first 2 beads, just to give them some stability. All right, now I'm going from the top down on the second bead. My needle is behind. That's how I like to work the frame. Go slowly. Okay, you can see I'm pulling it. And now I'm going to get my bead up here. I'm going to make sure that my thread, let's get that ear wire out of there, and make sure my thread is coming to the front, and I want it tucked into my very first little divot, and let's get that pushed over a little bit so I can see it. And I'm going to go from the bottom, there we go. I can see the thread is moved here, but we're going to get it back. Alright, we've got the second bead set, but we want our thread to come in the same little indentation or divot that we tied our knot on. Okay, so let's just kind of do this slowly. We'll move the thread down, and there we go. We've got both of our beads connected, and we are connected by that very first divot. Okay, so now we are in position, and they're all standing. We've got whole side up. Okay, now thread is in front again. We're going to pick up just one bead. The beginning of brick is you're adding 2 beads. I'm going to slide my needle to the back, and look at, I've got it kind of hold it. I'm holding with my left hand, but I'm also right-handed. So if you are right or left-handed, you're going to have just the opposite. You're going to be holding with your right. Okay, slowly pull that thread, and look where it's landing. It's landing right on the second divot. So that's where the thread's going to stay. Whoopsie, I kind of flipped it on myself. And I'm going to go from the bottom up on the bead, and I'm going to pull the needle toward me. I don't want that needle to go into the frame. It will cause a knot. And I'm going to pull up, and now we've got little standing beads. We're on the third. We're going to do another one. Bead, needle behind the frame, thread is in front. Slowly pull. Okay. I'm still going to do the second divot. I'm close enough where I can just pull over, and the thread is sitting nicely in there. So I'm going to come back up the bead. Okay, so you can see that we have got our beads all situated. Should I do one more? Let's do one more. You're going to do this all the way around. Slow and steady. Okay, needle is right behind my finger, or behind the frame rather. I'm holding it with my finger. And now I got another bead, and to be honest with you, it's really up to the 1, 2, 3rd divot, or the 3rd indentation. And I'm going to put my needle up the bead. Okay? So, once we do that, and we go all the way around, we're going to end on this side. We're going to end on the opposite side. Now, if you have enough thread, continue on. If not, this is the time to add thread before you start your flowers. Alright, so I'm going to just right now take this needle off so I don't get everything all twisted up. I already have thread connected to the other side as if I already went around. I'm trying to save some time, make this kind of a quick video. Alright, now here comes the decision-making process. When we come out, because we're most likely here, I want my thread coming down the first bead, and in the directions it will show you to start on the 3rd bead. So let's do that. Up, I came down 1, up 2, okay, and I'm not going through the cup chain, I'm only going through what we call the connector rim to our earrings. And here's our 3rd. With the silver, it's kind of hard to see, but I want to get my thread down in there. Sorry for making everybody clench their teeth as they're watching me. It's almost like you want to grab the thing and just say, let me do it. Okay, here we are. We're down out the 3rd bead. Now, I want to show you something. These are the directions. The directions have us starting 3rd bead, and we add flowers, and we skip 2 of our connector frame beads all the way around, and that gives you this look. All right, Now, my stitcher, and you have enough beads to do this. My stitcher wanted it with more flowers, and that's the picture you're going to see. Now, here's what we're going to decide. Would you like, there's enough beads to do this. Would you like to do this or the directions where it does show skipping 2 beads? This one, you only allow 1 bead between your flowers. So let's just get started. We know how to do this. The flowers are all the same. The directions are written for this one. Let me show you how to make them a little closer. After that, you know the flowers are the same whether you skip 2 beads or 1 bead. You do them all the same. You do the edging all the same, whether it's a flower that's a little easier to do. That earring's just a little easier because there's less flowers. This one has more flowers, and it just takes a little more time. That's why we're doing our video, to show you. So let me go into this one right now. No matter what, the flower on the directions, you do them the same exact way. So for this one, it looks like I'm going to start with the light blue. So I'm going to pick up just 1 bead because we have to connect 1 bead to the frame in order to connect the flower, the rest of the flower. So I am coming out one of the ridge connector beads or the row connector beads. I'm not into the cup chain. I'm only in and out of the beads. So I'm coming down and I've added my bead. Should have added my bead. Let's make sure. Oh, sure. I already lost it. Here's my bead. I'm glad I looked. And now I'm going to come up the next bead right next to it. All right? And if 2 beads end up on, oh yeah, 2 beads will end up on here. Hold on. It was way up by the needle and I didn't see it. Yeah, good thing we looked at that because I thought I had picked one up. All right, let's get going. All right, so I'm coming down one of my brick frame bead edges. I'm going to get this out of here. And I'm going to come back up the next one. So you're moving 1 bead over. Okay. So basically we are connecting that 1 bead, we're going to call it the 12 o'clock of the flower, the very top bead of the flower, to the 2 beads on the frame. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to go back a bead. Okay. Now we're fully connected. Now it's like, what direction do we go? Well, I go through the 12 o'clock bead again, and you can see it's horizontal. And I add, just like the directions say, 5 beads. So there's really 6 beads in the flower, plus the center, which would be 7. So we've got 3, 4, 5. Okay? And I'm going to go through the 12 o'clock bead. So I'm going to finish that circle. And then everything's connected to that top bead. All right, now we've got connection, but I want to put my thread down the what we call the 11 o'clock bead. So I'm going to move this around a little bit to give easier access. Go down through my 11 o'clock, and I'll make sure I'm on the camera. Okay, a lot of times I get talking and I look at it and I'm right off the camera screen. So now we just have to put in the center. So the center is the silver. It matches the rim, the connecting rim. And I've got my bead on, and I'm going to go straight across, which means I'm going to go up the 1 o'clock bead. See that? All right. I'm going to pull, but I'm really not complete until I go through, finish going through the circle on the 12 o'clock bead. Okay? You're going to do this on whatever choice you want to make. Follow the directions, which will bring you this, or do a little thicker ridge, which just means we're not skipping 2 beads. Okay, and I'll show you what that 2 beads mean. All right, now we're all done here. We want to get back up to the frame so we can come down and start our next flower. So we're going to go up a bead, And we're going to come down a bead, and we're not ready to add our flower yet, because this bead that we're coming down on the edge is the bead we want to skip. So go up to the next bead. Okay, go up to the next bead. And now I really want to be down on the other side. You know, I want to use this bead that I just went up to be the bead that I'm exiting. So what do? We do a little hook. We just catch a little thread up here on our edge, just a little thread, okay? And why are we doing that? We don't want our thread to come right back out. And now I'm coming right back down. Here, I got something. I pulled a little thread with me. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm on the third bead, and I'm coming down. And I already did my little hook, catch the thread. So we're all good. I'm skipping one bead between the flower, and I'm coming out a beaded edge the right way, and now I'm going to add my next flower. And we're going to add a dark blue. And like before, we go up to the next bead. We've got to connect our, what I call the 12 o'clock flower. And I'm going to come back down to complete that connection. And I'm not putting on beads yet because I want to go through the 12 o'clock. Oops, let's get the needle through the hole that way. And then I can start my circle. Okay? Again, same way when you do the directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back. You can see the threads coming through over here. So my needle's going to enter the opposite side, and I'm going to make a circle of beads. These are my flowers. And like before, I'm going to go down through, just pass through the 11 o'clock bead or the next bead in line. But when I hold it like this, it's the 11 o'clock bead. And now I'm going to add my center, and all the centers are the same for this kit. It's the silver that matches the edge. And now I'm going to pick up not the 12 o'clock, but the 1 o'clock bead. And I'm going to, the 1 o'clock bead. Go through. And I want to make sure my thread goes on top, because we want that bead to be in the center, like that. And then I'm going to pull a little bit, and then I'm going to go through my 12 o'clock bead, because I'm going to get ready to move to my next exit position. Let's get this over here so we don't catch anymore. Okay, and you're going to catch because this is cup chain. All right, and I'm pulling nicely, and I'm going to go straight up into the bead that's right by the attaching 12 o'clock bead. Okay, I'm not moving forward yet. I'm just going straight up. Now I'm going to move forward, but I'm going to show you something. See these beads? They're touching. All right? And you've got, if you look, that there's two beads on that frame that connect to the 12 o'clock. Then there's one bead that's not doing anything, and then there's two beads that are connecting to the 12 o'clock. This is our one bead skip that's not doing anything. Okay? So now, just like before, I'm going to go down the next bead. I'm going to just kind of float my needle and thread over where it should be. I'm going to come up my skip bead. Okay, and I'm going to catch a thread. When you come up, you just want to be on the others. It's all about where the thread ends. And the thread, I want to come out this bead, not come down forward anymore. So I'm just kind of trying to pick out. There we go. Just kind of get a little edge thread in there. Do a little catch. Come straight down that bead that I just went up. Just like that. And I'm ready to do my next flower. And my next flower is a teal flower. So I'm going to add my connecting bead, go up, go back again because I want to complete my connection. I'm not going forward, I'm just lingering now on that top 12 o'clock bead. And now I'm going to go through that 12 o'clock, which is always horizontal. And actually my needle is pointing counterclockwise, if that helps. Okay? And now I'm going to add my 5 petals, because then that will make a total of 6 beads, and then we add 1 center, which is number 7. Okay, so now go through, complete the circle. Okay, I'm turning it because it's just easier to work, and I'm going to go through that token 11 o'clock bead rather. And I'm going to go back so you can see. It's right up here, that's the bead. And now I'm going to add my center bead, and I'm going to go over and put my needle up the 1 o'clock bead. Okay, now remember, keep your thread on top of that flower. Kind of hold the flower down if you need to. You don't want it underneath it. Okay, I'm going to pull here. Oops. What did I do? I caught something. Here, hold on. There we go. Alright, now I can pull. There's our little flower. And then I'm going through the 12 o'clock bead again. And right now we're only allowing 1 bead in between our flowers. Okay, now we've got our 3 flowers on here. And these are the ones that as I'm going to repeat again, we're only skipping one bead between these flower constructions. This will give you a little thicker band. Okay. My directions show a little simpler guide where you're skipping between 2 beads, and that is very easily done. So I just wanted to show you, without showing you how to do what the directions are saying, I want to show you what the directions aren't saying and what you can do to make a fuller frame. Alright, everything else is really easy because you're going back through, and it shows you how to come up the flower and where to exit it, and the last step is adding the little beads, and you're going to go through the 6 o'clock. Okay, I think it's a great kit. Have fun with it, and thank you. We always appreciate the business. Any questions at all, you can always reach Goody Beads, and they'll contact me, and without a doubt we'll help you out. Okay, have a good day.